Hi, Keith Wilson here, and this tutorial today is in response to a recent email I received from one of my loyal subscribers. And my guess is that there's lots more people with the same question. Hence the reason for me putting it together for you. And here's the thing. In order to get the maximum potential out of your database, you must constantly evolve with it and subsequently make changes. However, if you're not aware of certain aspects of the design layout facility, you'll no doubt encounter problems, because although adding fields to the database and to the layouts is very easy, once you've done that and put them onto your layout, you may find trying to incorporate them somewhat tricky. So in this tutorial, I'm going to highlight how the tab order works and then show you a few tricks on how to manipulate the design so it works better for you. So let's go into the design layout first from the tools menu. And once you're in there, the first thing you need to establish is what the current tab order is. And the way to do this is to go to the View menu, choose Tab Stops and show Tab Stops. Now all fields that currently have a tab stop defined are clearly highlighted with a red box displaying the order of that particular field. Notice I said fields that currently have a tab stop defined. Not all fields need to have a tab stop or an enter stop assigned to them, as you'll see here on the Layout Demo tab. I have 6 user fields here that have not been assigned a tab stop on this particular layout. Now before I go any further, let me quickly highlight another very important point about how ACT functions. Tab stops and incidentally enter stops are chronologically numbered with the next consecutive free number. That means when you click a field to set a stop, the number assigned to it is the next consecutive number available on this layout. For example, if you set stops from 0 to 15 and then 20 through 25, as I have done here, the next time you click a field to specify the new stop point, the number assigned to it will be 16, as this is the next available number in chronological order. Again, let me show you this as it's easier to understand when you actually see it in action. So going back to these 6 user fields I have on this layout, if I were to define a tab stop for these, they will automatically be allocated tab stops 16, 17 and 18. So to allocate them, you simply click using the left mouse button. And moving on from that, look what happens when I define tab stops for the next 3 user fields. The first field is assigned number 19. However, the next one will be assigned number 23 and the last one 24. Now that's purely because, as I stated earlier, you can manually assign the number tab from within the properties window. And as I said, what you'll see here is the fact that I manually have suggested that these 3 fields are assigned tab stop number 20, 21 and 22. Now I will show you the properties shortly and how you define them manually. The key point here is though that everything is allocated in a logical manner. Now let me give you 2 common scenarios, and they're ones that I come across over and over again. Now the first one's this. What if you wanted to move the user 3 and user 4 fields from the Layout Demo tab up onto the main section of the layout? Let's say those fields have now become more important. How could you redefine the tab order so that your users didn't have to move around the layout in an illogical order? Well, it's very simple, and here's how you do it. First step, let me close down this particular layout because I'm still in the tab stop mode, which I don't want to be in. So let's just go back in. Let me just create some space for those new fields to go in. And all I'm going to do is simply select them from the Layout tab and drag using the left mouse button into their new location. Okay, now we've got the new fields in the correct place, we need to go back into our tab stop order. So again, View, Tab Stops, and Show Tab Stops. Now what you may notice there is that because I didn't save the changes earlier that I made when we were working with the tab stops, users 3 and 4 fields do not currently have a tab stop assigned to them. Okay, so now we've got the fields in the correct place, we need to deselect the company and the title field, because the user 3 and 4 fields are now going to replace the tab order of those two. So all we simply do is now click on the user 3 and 4 fields, and you notice they've now been assigned the tab orders that company and title had previously. Okay, that's great, but what now happens when you try to reallocate new tab stops to company and title? They automatically get assigned numbers 16 and 17. And the reason for that is, as I said, and I've said it several times, everything's based in a chronological order. We have 1 to 15 here and 20 to 22 on the right hand side. So the next number in chronological order is 16. Now at this stage you could go through the fields one by one and deselect and reselect until you get it exactly as you want it. But in this example, by far the quickest way would be to clear the tab stops entirely and reallocate them all, and this is how you do it. From the View menu, tab stops, and this time we want to choose Clear. At this stage, every single tab stop on this layout has now been removed, so you can now go through the fields one by one and specify the most logical tab order for your users. This is achieved by simply clicking on the field using the left mouse button.